Here we go.
Hello.
Let me do that again. Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio, number 427. My name is Mel Popeye Moss.
And Mel OG Robbins.
We 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 are with Sons of Liberty Riders CMC, who are sponsors of this show each and every week, and we are on every Tuesday night. And what we do, just in case anybody's new, we comment on the news of the day and stuff we see going on in not only in the biker community, but the nation, Texas, and the nation at whole. And you know, we are a political group. This is what we do. We've been doing this for years. We've been doing it for years. And right now, YouTube is jacking with us. We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. And we're going to be giving them a fair warning here in a little while. But first, everybody, and I would assume the message is going out loud and strong that the president has said he's not going to sign that piece of trash that they sent to him, that measly $600 that they are trying to send the people as if they're doing us a freaking favor. And meanwhile, they're passing out money everywhere to foreign countries, to entities that don't deserve it. It's absolutely incredible what we're seeing. I mean, what do you think about it, OG?
Oh, hell, they were just commenting on the radio. Pelosi, not too long ago, was saying how paltry $1,000 was. And it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, 600 is enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they're trying to treat it like crack.
Yeah.
Crack cocaine. They're feeding it to us little by little. So they addict us to the socialist government that they want to set up.
You know, and if you heard me on Stimulus for the People this morning, I was talking about it. It's a freaking insult. It's an insult. And we did encourage the president and others to do away with that bill and come back with something else. Quick. They're doing us no favors. And are you sick of this stuff? Are you sick of these two sides, Democrats and Republicans, not signing off on these bills that they haven't read? They have no idea what's in it. And it's probably OG put together by staffs and bureaucrats and everything else. Everybody but them probably had input into this bill.
It's stacked so thick with pork, you'd think you're on a hog farm.
I think, if I remember, he talked about how many pages it was. I think it 2,000 or 1,500, somewhere around there.
Yeah, yep.
So they send these bills with all this writing. All they had to do was create a single bill that dealt with stimulus to the people. Let me say that again, to the people. Not to all these other entities, not for FBI construction projects. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. And what the hell does Cambodia have to do with stimulus for the American people?
Well, unfortunately, Congress has been doing this to us for years.
They've been doing it for decades.
It not ought to be allowed.
Yeah.
But what they do is they take all these little pork projects, all these things that they know are not capable of passing on their own, and they wait until they think there's some bill coming across, that there's an emergency that it needs to pass, and that's when they stuff it in.
And at Christmas time, so they can get the hell out of Dodge.
Betcha. They think we would all just fall on our knees for $600.
Yeah. You know, and I understand people out there are needing money, but this should be an insult to them. This should be an insult to Democrats. This should be an insult to Republicans. And I'm going to reach out right now and ask Democrats to join us in an effort to clean sweep this shit out. Next election cycle, there's a whole host of people that need to be gone. And I would say basically probably 90% of them.
Absolutely. There's a couple things they count on. First being, and it's a well-known statistic, it's used over and over, and that is that the public memory is about 6 weeks long.
Yeah.
After something happens and you get all pissed off at a politician, you're going to forget about it within 6 weeks. Now, the other factor that is now reared its ugly head, and we've all been aware of, is that lousy voting equipment out there, the machinery.
Yeah.
And the software that will factor votes.
Yes.
It will weigh votes. They can, we have said so many times, for Pete's sake, go and vote. Your vote counts. Well, I don't know that we can say that anymore. Honestly.
Well, let me explain that.
Well, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
I go in and I vote, and this machine is weighting, not weighing, but weighting my vote to where maybe 25% of my vote, or 50% of my vote, or 75% of my vote goes to the opposition, and the remaining small pittance goes to the one that I actually voted for.
Yeah.
Now, how the hell does my vote count that way?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Your vote has been compromised at the very least.
Raped.
Yeah. And let me say this, everybody. Let me say this. The people play a part in electing the president. The House of Representatives on January 6, 2020. And that's the Congress. The Congress is the House of the people. That is the House of the people. The Congress are our representatives. We vote for them. We choose them as our representatives. At that point, when it goes to the House, our part in the election process is done. It's done right there. The Congress elects the president. We choose, the states choose a slate of electors in each state. The Congress accepts or rejects those electors. Vice President Pence has sole and absolute authority over those electors. And right now, they're under protest. 5 states are under protest. Their legislators have sent a message, don't count these electors. Don't count the fraudulent electors. You choose this group. And that's what's going on right now. There'll be one man from the House and one man from the Senate that will object to those electors from those states. And so everything will go haywire from there as the other side goes nuts. Nuts. And so I don't see that Mike Pence is going to cave like my wife heard today.
I'll tell you, you don't know anymore. They surprised
That's
the hell
true.
out of
The
me.
Supreme Court has been compromised.
Now we're finding out we best be checking out the wives.
Yep. Yep.
Because they are pussy whipping the hell out of their husbands.
Exactly. Women have all the nookie.
Yeah. Now we got Supreme Court justices that are afraid to go home unless they do what the hell their wife tells them to
There
do.
you go. Evidently, John Roberts has got a problem. And so Turtle Man may have problem being he's married to an Asian woman, a Chinese lady. Miss McConnell, if you don't know who the Turtle Man is. But before we get deeper into it now, I really want to make a comment, and I thought about this earlier today. And I don't have the video, but there was a young man that was jailed and mistreated in Keller, Texas. I think he was a young Hispanic man. That's what I think it was. And he was ticketed for a wide turn and taken to jail. Now, wait a minute. It gets better. It gets better. Because his dad happened to be driving down the street. And, of course, they're telling, the police officers are telling the dad to stay back. So he goes across the street and he's videoing them. Well, they took an issue to that, and they went over there and tried to knock the phone out of his hand. Then all of a sudden they throw him to the ground and start pepper spraying him. Now, in Texas, it is legal as long as you're not interfering with the law officers, and he wasn't. Because there's proof of it on body cams. Now, this happened a while ago. But, OG, this is the kind of stuff that happens to bikers on a regular basis. Matter of fact, it's almost the same scenario where a biker was pulling into his driveway and was taken to jail for not giving a turn signal. Now, the point I want to make here, OG, is not only we've been putting up with this mess for a long time, but the image of that does police departments no good. They've got enough problems already, and they know who their bad officers are, because this guy had a trail. He had a paper trail. The senior officer did. And, of course, he had a junior guy with him that should know better. I mean, in the military, you don't have to follow unlawful orders. You're taught that. And I guess it's not taught in our police departments. I don't know. But the image of this does them no good. No good at all. It helps nobody. And the image of law officers going on these damn health inspections and locking businesses down unconstitutionally, locking businesses down, tell them they can't open up even though they're trying to follow all the guidelines, which change every other day. Maybe not by the CDC, but by the governors and the judges and the mayors that have gone crazy with power. Now, we know what they're doing. We know they're trying to damage the economy. We know they're trying to get the Great Reset, collapse the system, bring it back up like you want it, with everybody on the government teat. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, they're crazy with power.
They are crazy.
Because we allow them to be.
Exactly.
The way to stop that crap is people need to stand up and push the hell back.
You bet.
Don't be afraid to spend the night in jail.
Yeah.
All of us have done that. In fact, I learned the value of a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Spending one night in a county jail because that was the only frickin' pillow they had for the cement slabs. And let me tell you, a roll of toilet paper was damn scarce. Nonetheless, it's not going to ruin your life.
Yeah.
Unless you start standing up and telling them to screw off and do what it is the hell you want to do, they're going to keep doing it. It's only because we have empowered them that they're able to do that.
Electing them again and again and again for freaking decades. No wonder they're corrupt. They have plenty of time to figure out how the hell to scam the system and in turn scam us, the taxpayers that pays for all this shit. You know, if you're not mad, if you're not upset, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to light a fire under you. Because as it stands right now, I'm ready to head to D.C. on January 6th. If there's not anything going on here.
Yep.
Because my president asked me to be there. That's why. And because this election that we just had, and I'm going to say the F word, was full of fraud. I don't care if YouTube likes it. I don't care if Facebook likes it. I don't care. Because it's a fact. It's a fact. There's enough evidence out there to show that this is true. And that's what we do here. We search for truth wherever we can find it. But you won't find it at big tech. You won't find it at by the mainstream media. But we will find it investigating and talking to each other. We can get around big tech. We can get around the mainstream media. There's enough resources out there that we can do that. Now, can they preach to morons? Yeah. Yeah, they can. So let me help OG here real quick. You trying to get it over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Swing it around here,
Yeah.
this corner. There it is. Okay. There you go. I'm teaching him how to work the mouse for two screens. So that way he can talk to you guys on the chat line.
Randy Russell said Biden sucks, and YouTube was trying to hide it.
Yeah. That's true. That would be a true statement. And, you know he's not going to be the president. You know it's going to be somebody behind him. We don't even know who, but I think I know. His last name would start with O. And maybe H. Or maybe both. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. Because somebody in the background is pulling all the strings on this, and there are others that are providing cash, and lots of it. That's the one thing we don't have, is cash. Otherwise, we'd have a big old studio. And we'd have some professional people in here. We're just like you. We're just like you. Trying to get our voices heard. And, oh, gee, that happened up in Oregon, where about 300 of the citizens showed up there, and they were talking about the shutdown. They wanted to meet with the legislators and people to talk about the shutdown. And you know what? What they were met with? Police. A bunch of law enforcement. The governor called it an unlawful assembly. Oh, by the way, we are allowed to assemble peacefully. And even if they have had weapons, it is our right per the Second Amendment.
Well, have you noticed? Anytime Antifa, Black Lives Matter, or any of that trash rally or meet somewhere, law enforcement does nothing.
Does nothing.
However, when you get a righteous group of citizens that want to rally, protest, or meet somewhere, to show protest, they're immediately blocked.
Yeah. Yeah. Now let's dig into some of this, OG. And I did make a note in an article I wrote the other day. Hey, if you see us not capitalizing something, whether it's a state, whether it's a person, whether it's a representative, if their name is not capitalized, that's on purpose. It's because they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. So that's just a small signal that you know what our feelings are about them. We never capitalize their names. But and I did write some of this down. I had to. This is a lot of stuff, Well, I mean, we at Texas Biker Radio have been pointing out for years, no matter how hard Republicans and Democrats fight with each other, the country continues to slip into an abyss of a socialist-style government. It just keeps on slipping, no matter how much they fight with each other. In the case on this bill, you look at this, $900 billion, and I guess it ends up being about $2 trillion.
Over $2 trillion.
Yeah, where does $900 billion come in? Is it? Well, anyway.
Take the time, find a news article or whatever that details basically where those funds are going. It is outrageous.
And the one thing they call this bill bipartisan. Anytime we hear the word bipartisanship, we know some sort of fix is in that rarely benefits the people. This is a perfect example, everybody. And the one notable thing was no matter what politicians, no matter who they are never held accountable for these type bills or the crimes they commit. Never. Can you say Benghazi? Can you say Hillary Clinton? Can you say what's his name? The FBI director guy, Comey.
Yeah.
All these people, all these FBI people have been involved in this stuff. I think they've had one that pleaded guilty. One. When it should be many. Many. The FBI should be defunded. The CIA should be defunded. The people that are supposed to protect this country and should have known this fraudulent election stuff was going on. But yet they said nothing. So that tells me they're part of the deep state. They are part of it.
Actually, the FBI ranks right in there with crooked politicians.
There you go.
Lower than a used car salesman.
And and I'm talking crimes that we would spend years behind bars for. It's nuts, everybody. And it's like I said, I am disappointed with law enforcement, whether they be locally, whether they be state, whatever, for participating in this crap. They come out there and they say, well, we're just doing our job. Well, let the health department do that damn job. You've got crimes to solve. Not out there harassing the American citizen. Not out there closing down their damn businesses when there's no laws that justify doing that. Not taking people to jail for minor traffic violations. And this is a perfect example and probably will help us get a bill passed in the state legislature this year. And I'm telling them in the state legislature, they better be fighting as hard as they can right now, not only against this kind of crap, voter fraud, no matter what level. It doesn't matter that there wasn't enough of it, to change the outcome. It's that it's happening at all. At all. And like I said the other night, the penalties need to be increased and people need to start being arrested. And I'm not talking about lower level guys. I'm talking about the upper level guys They need to be held accountable. They need to pay a price for this kind of crap, is what needs to happen. Because that is exactly what would happen to us. On the Republican side, on the conservative side, you know, the despicables. I mean, you look back and you see what's going on, then you fast forward today, and it's obvious we're being sold out from within, everybody. We're being sold out. Politicians on both sides, along with government bureaucrats, elected by nobody. They've been working for decades, the politicians has, to installing bureaucrats in key positions. That gives them great influence over the lives of the American people, creating regulations where there are no laws. They do it through regulations. And guess who was interfering with that? Who would that be, OG?
Interfering with regulations?
Yeah. Who cut regulations? Donald J. Trump.
By the hundreds.
Yeah.
If not thousands.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, it just runs on and on, guys. You know. I mean, you know, pinpointing who opened the door to China and the China infiltration that came along after, that's not hard. That's Henry Kissinger. Kissinger in 1971 did the shuttle diplomacy. Remember that? Well, most of you wasn't born then, but I remember it. It led to economic and cultural exchanges between the two sides and the establishment of a liaison offices in the Chinese and American capitals. Though full relations didn't come to realization until 1979. Little did we know what that unleashed on us. They literally took over with cash, buying influence or buying access to key people, buying their way into corporations like the company I work for. Oh yeah, we sent people over to China to train their employees. An engineer over there at that time, an aircraft engineer, made about $1.25 an hour. And I doubt that's improved very much. But all of a sudden, you know, all these people making $1.25 an hour, all of a sudden were world travelers. They're all over the place.
They certainly are.
They flooded the world. They flooded the world with these workers. And now we know what they were doing. And of course, we knew it then. The workers did. We knew they were stealing technology. And we could tell there was no new work coming to us, like our unions told us. They actually said that. Oh man, we're going to get more work. We give our jobs away, we're going to get more work. And you know, you're thinking to yourself, just how in the hell does that work? Oh yeah, they're going to buy more airplanes. You know, we're still waiting on that. We're still waiting on that. And we've seen that again and again and again, because if you're going to go do business over there, and oh gee, Google found this out. When they went over there to open up shop, all of a sudden they had to have a partner. And the partner was a company was owned by the CCP. In case you don't know who that is, that's the Chinese Communist Party. Hello, everybody. Hello. So now we come forward to today, and they basically own all our manufacturing. You know, and with the China virus, all of a sudden we discovered, hey, we don't make our own medicines anymore. They're all made over there.
Lord only knows what the hell they put in it, too.
and all the PPE equipment they're selling to us. We're wearing that shit. Unless you're making it yourself. And you pointed out the other night, if you go look at the boxes on all this stuff, it says made in China.
That's right.
Are we stupid?
Go to the store and see how few things you can buy that aren't made in China.
I know. It's hard not to buy American when you can't find American. And so, there's a lot of crap going on out there. Are you mad yet? If you're not, you should be. They're stealing our jobs. And when we buy that stuff, we're killing our own economy, our own manufacturing base. We're killing it. We're doing it. But we're especially doing it when we're reelecting these bastards again and again and again, and they're on the take. Joe Biden, the Biden families aren't the only one doing this. There's a whole host of them, and they need to be weeded out, and many of them need to be put in jail. Many of them need to be put in jail. Now, Ghost Eagle, we have a flag company here where they're made here. Yeah, we do. Talking about American flags and flags. Yeah. We got one in Fort Worth, Texas. They make their own flags. They make them here.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of American entities that are deeply involved in this. I can take you back to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Ever wonder why we never bombed Hanoi Harbor? We bombed the crap out of everything else in that jungle. I mean, they had B-52s, carpet bombing all over hell and gone.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing ever touched Hanoi Harbor. You know why? There were merchant ships in there loaded with U.S. goods.
Yeah.
And that's precisely why it was off limits to our bombers.
Yeah. Hey, did you know at one time we did mine the harbor?
Oh, did we?
Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did. I remember that. We did mine the harbor there in Hanoi. And there was the fit throwing like you've never seen. And they also went, it got them to the peace talk table. That's what it did. Now, it all collapsed from there, but it got them to the table again and again and again. But you know, the truth of that is, we should have never took them out of there. We should have just made those ships sit there as long as it took. My opinion. Of course, there's a lot of things we should have done, like bomb their rice fields. There's a whole lot of things we should have done. And we probably saved a bunch of lives of the 58,000 that died. Just saying, everybody. Just saying.
Yeah, the guys are talking about flags online here.
Yeah.
We've had some discussion about what happens if things go south.
Mm-hmm.
And flying the U.S. flag. Because you got to wonder what's left of the U.S. if this all goes south.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of us fly the U.S. flag in our front yard. And done a lot of thought about taking that down and starting to fly our state flag.
Yeah.
In fact, I just recently got my brand new Texas flag.
The current flag is from what we were able to tell, is the Republic of Texas flag.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the correct Texas flag, the blue field is vertical,
Mm-hmm.
and the width is exactly 1/3 of the width or length of the flag.
Yeah.
And then You've got the white star in the center of the blue field, and you've got a white stripe on top and a red stripe on the bottom.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you this much. When the tide turns, the other side now is going to want to secede. Because they've already talked about it. And I would be perfectly fine with that. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. I would be fine with that. Let them go their own way. Let them ruin their states. Let them ruin their economies. And then watch them try and dig out of it. Just what I'm saying, everybody. And right now, we'd like to give the members of the deep state fair warning. You have sold us out to foreign entities. You have ignored the supreme law of our country, the Constitution. You have been exposed. You collectively have participated in an election night coup d'etat, along with decades of lies, deceit, and outright thefts, along with your minions. The patriots of this country demands this stop and stop now. And those perpetrators be jailed en masse, using any and all methods of the presidential powers to restore the republic back to the people. Back to the people. And it's clear right now, with what we saw with this bill, that this is about somebody else. This is not about the American people. No way, no how. It's clear the Congress, the Senate, the judicial parts of government have been compromised to the highest courts, who refuse to take cases and refuse to listen. Just like happened in Oregon, where 300 people came to just talk. To just talk. And they said it was an unlawful assembly. They violated their constitutional rights to peacefully assemble with force.
They should have been wearing Black Lives Matters t-shirts.
Exactly, exactly. That would have been a Black Lives Matter group or Antifa types. They could just do what they wanted, burn, whatever else. They are a small fraction of this country, is what they are. And they are treasonous. They are what they claim to be against. You know, it's not clear how many have been blackmailed or had death threats. And I'm talking about politicians. I'm talking about judges. The same thing that's been happening to people that have come forward to testify about the fraud they saw. They've had death threats. They've had all kinds of stuff done to them. They've lost their jobs. They're heroes, is what they are. And law enforcement, here we go, everybody. They need to step forward, be seen as heroes. Law enforcement within the FBI, the CIA, the Homeland Security, who participated or knew of the insurrection will find themselves fighting for their careers and fending off jail time. Many will run if they have the wherewithal. They will run. The mainstream media and big tech will find themselves complicit in all aspects, including an all-out effort to collapse the economy using the China virus as a weapon for a global reset that benefits the rich and the power. That strategy has been around for decades, And OG, who benefits off this crap? The rich and well-connected. We've seen this happen again and again and again. Because every time there's a collapse in the economy, like even during the Depression years, or the Dust Bowl and all that
Right.
stuff, the banks, the rich people, bought up properties and everything else for pennies on the dollar. Pennies. They got richer while the people went broke. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here. This is who benefits when this kind of crap happens. Like hyperinflation and all that crap, that's who benefits. Not the workers. Not the workers. All you have to do is go back and look history if it hadn't been wiped away by people on the left. And I know I'm on my soapbox, but damn, everybody. Damn.
It gets frustrating as hell.
You know what? We ought to go in a giant caravan up to Washington, D.C. on January 6th. What we really ought to do. Just saying, everybody.
Reenact 2 million bikers to D.C.
I'm telling you. Or I don't give a damn what it is right now. 2 million bikers, snowmobiles, cars, tractors, whatever. But OG and I made to leave now to make it. Wow, guys. Now, here, I can't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow is supposed to be the day that the electors are supposed to be turned in to Vice President Pence. It's supposed to be in his hands tomorrow. Now, there's a little bit of confusion whether everything happens tomorrow or part of it happens tomorrow and then the rest of it happens on January 6th. And it may be that January 6th is the key date since our president is asking us to be there. And I would figure one reason he's asking us to be there is because the other side will be there. So maybe we ought to run with the Proud Boys.
I was going to say, I hope to hell the Proud Boys are coming.
No, they will be. They will be. It's incredible, guys. It's incredible. Well, let's say hi to some people on the chat line. I see Ghost Eagle, Randall Russell. How you doing? Crystal Campbell, Matters Workshop. Ironhead, how you doing? And I can never get that one, OG.
Yeah. Lots of luck.
I know. I can't ever get that one. I'm not even going to try. Not even going to try. But, hey, today was another beautiful day in Texas, 70 degrees. And, yeah, Venus and Jupiter were still up there tonight. I saw them earlier.
It was a good meal anyway.
Yeah. Just to tell you a story, we went out to Ranger, Texas, and to see the event with the Star, and we went to the smokestack to eat. Now, if you've never been to the smokestack in Thurber, Texas, off of I-20, you've missed some evil. They got great chicken fried steak. They've got great rolls.
We had our second half tonight for dinner.
I had it for breakfast. and you know, and we found out that it's the dishwasher that makes the dinner rolls. Man, he needs a promotion. What he needs. But just a tidbit. Hey, look, we're serious about what we're saying. And I am just really upset with law enforcement and the things they've been doing. You guys, it does not help their image when they don't get rid of their bad apples And like I said earlier, OG, they know who they are. There's a paper trail on most of those guys. You know, and we've got more trials and tribulations coming. And I did say trials, right? We got trials in Milam County. We got trials in El Paso that are on hold because of the China virus and a bunch of morons. Now let's talk about the China virus for a minute. And all the shutdowns. California's going absolutely crazy. But yet the homeless out there seems to be okay. I went looking at that the other night, researching that. And downtown, they actually call it, downtown LA, they actually have a place called Skid Row. And it's huge. It's huge. But you know, you don't see bodies piling up everywhere. You don't see any of that crap. They're milling around doing whatever they want to. Matter of fact, is one lady was talking, you know, hey, she had a job, but she decided to be homeless because it's a nice community. She said, well, we all care about each other, and, you know, somebody come along here and see what I'm doing and tell me I do a good job. She said, I never got that at work. I go home at night, be by myself. She said, down here I have friends. I have people that will help me. And I have people that will tell me I did a good job. That's all she wanted. And that's all she wanted from her employer. And she wasn't getting it. So she quits working. Now, I don't know whether you follow that logic or not, but I guess in a way, it makes sense. In a way. So maybe employers should just think about what they're doing. But right now, it's saving our jobs. It's about saving the restaurant industry. It's about saving people's lives. Not only from the coronavirus, but being destitute.
Oh, I dare say in some states the restaurant industry has been devastated.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's a few here in Texas that have bit the dust, but nothing compared to New York City or California.
There's a couple up here in our local mall. There's 4 restaurants that have closed down in the food court. And one of them been there since it opened. That's that Sarku Japan type thing.
Right.
They got the guys in it. Well, they're not throwing stuff, you know, the utensils around, stuff like that. But they make good food. And there was always people in line. I didn't get why it was closed down. But evidently they wasn't making enough money. So that we see it one after the other up there, those places boarded up. You know, you always wonder, well, who's next? Who's next? And you can drive around here and see who it is. But all the big chains, what they're doing is they're killing mom and pop businesses. And, you know, years ago, you know, Japan wouldn't build malls because it affected the mom and pop businesses. They refused to do it. I don't know that it's that way today, but I know back in the 80s it was that way. And so, but we don't have no qualms about it. New York doesn't have any qualms about killing small businesses. California doesn't have any qualms about it. Oregon doesn't. Seattle doesn't. Because that's what they're trying to do. And now, OG, they claim there's a new strain over in London. And you think I trust that?
Mutated strain.
A mutated strain. I'm saying bullshit. I'm saying bullshit because they need this crisis to continue in order to get their reset, in order to collapse the system. They need this to continue. And if you get Joe Biden, we actually get him, it will continue. It will. So we got some standing up to do, everybody. We've got some hell raising to do. I know it's the holidays, but it is really important that you get out there to these rallies, that you call your congressman, even your freaking state rep, and tell him if he's not doing everything he can to fight against this, guess what? He's on your shit list. And you're going to be working to get rid of them. I don't care. I got politicians that are my good friends. But if they're not down for the fight, hell with them. To hell with them. There's some people will ride to the ends of the earth for them, and there are others where we are so damn mad we're ready to get them and throw them under the bus. And so, you know, if you want to save the republic, and that's what we're talking about here, we're not a democracy. We're not that. You know, they throw that word around, OG.
They talk about democracy all the time. We never have been, and we are not a democracy.
We are a republic. We are a republic. And there's a reason for that. We're not majority rule. The electoral colleges, small states will never, never relinquish that, because they would not have any say. The government is designed where the minority has a say in what's going on. That's right, T-Spain, constitutional republic. I'm sorry, I should have added that in there. But there we go. I'm corrected by our chat line.
That's okay. They're paying attention.
That's right. That's right. Wow. Oh, gee, you got it. I know I went on a tear.
That's okay. That's okay. We recently were talking about some of the bikers for Trump out there.
Oh, yeah.
And we are very curious. I don't remember seeing any around here in Texas. And if there are any in Texas, we would love for you to reach out.
Yeah.
We want to talk to you. We have some ideas. And as a matter of fact, if there are any Bikers for Trump organizations, writing groups out there, contact us anyway. You don't have to be in Texas. We'd love to talk to you. We've got some ideas, and we're looking for all the help we can get. So that was the first thing. And then I want to quote Bosch.
Go ahead. I love Bosch.
Bosch is great.
Yeah. I wish we had.
And Bosch said, when the system fails, righteous men will rise.
There you go.
Think about that. Carve that in your brain, because that's what needs to happen now.
We want you to be righteous. And so does the Lord. Yes, he does. He didn't mean for you to sit on your ass and let it happen. That evil take over. And that's what this is. That's what this is. So, we're going to be out there, guys. We're going to be doing our part. And we'll be doing the biker stuff at the same time. We got the legislature coming up. And like I said the other night, I'm going to keep saying it. You know, January 25th. January 25th is Biker Legislative Day in Austin, Texas. I don't know if we're going to be able to go into the Capitol or not because of this coronavirus scare that's going on, trying to create fear over it. Yeah, some people are dying, but we got over, what, the 90-something% recovery rate, OG?
That's correct. High 90s.
Yeah. So, and they don't talk about that very much. All they do is talk about the cases and try and scare the hell out of people, trying to get you to wear a mask everywhere you go, indoors, outdoors, it doesn't matter where. They want you complying. They want you to stay home, which they're not doing here in Texas. The mall today, the parking lot was full. And it will be full tomorrow. And it will be full Christmas Eve. It will be full. It will be packed with people. Restaurants are open. They're doing one hell of a business, those that are open. Even though they may be at a lower capacity, guess what? Some of these places I walk into, I can't tell it.
Nope.
And we get out and about. I'm telling you, we do.
Yeah, there's very few things we haven't done.
That's true.
I mean, we try to be smart about it. The same way we're smart about it when the flu season hits, which it's here now. Even though, we haven't heard a damn thing about it. I guess everyone that's sick has COVID and in no way has the flu.
Yeah.
But, even my doc told me, he said, there's no rhyme or reason. He has seen young people in perfect health die. Not a lot of them, but they defied everything that Fauci's been saying. And then he has seen 70 and 80-year-olds that have tested positive for COVID that had very mild symptoms.
My dad, who's soon to be 93, had very just small symptoms. A little cough is what he had. A little cough. Incredible. And he's not in the best of health. He's had a stroke. But yet, he doesn't do much. I tried to go see him one day. I tried to go see him. This is a true story. They told me he was busy. He was in the Senior Olympics. I said, what? He's paralyzed on the left side. What the hell is he doing? But I guess they didn't want me to come that day. That's all that was all about. They were locking down over the COVID and having the Olympics at the same time, the Senior Olympics. Go figure, everybody. Go figure. We're being lied to so many ways that nobody trusts the system anymore. But yeah, there are people getting vaccinated, and I told you the other day, OG, the first day of the issuing the vaccines here in Texas, they vaccinated 140,000 people the first day. And by this weekend, they should be at a million. There's 28 or 29 million people here in Texas. So, but I do believe they will get to the critical point pretty quick, where you've vaccinated enough people that it has an effect on the spread of the virus.
Well, they're real worried about that, though.
Yeah, because now they bitched about it so much, they poo-pooed it so much, they carried on about it that people on the other side.
There's a whole lot of people out there that are saying, hell no, There is no way you're vaccinating me.
You know, and every time Bill Gates goes on television and says something, they see that moron, and then that just infuriates people and say, "Oh hell no, he's got anything to do with it. I'm not taking it." But Bill Gates doesn't know a damn thing about creating medicines. Doesn't know a damn thing about viruses unless it's something he probably knows as much as I do. He just got money to buy his way in. Same with Zuckerberg. Same with the Google owner. All these people, they just have money to buy their way in. They have money so they can buy the news media that won't bitch about them, that will do their bidding. Is what goes on. Are you sick of it yet? And let me tell you, big tech, when Donald Trump wins this thing, and it's going to happen, we're going to push to make sure he takes care of you. You. You cannot get away with limiting free speech, censoring free speech, and the exchange of ideas. No matter how ridiculous you might think it is, people have the right to say it, people have the right to think it, because we've been putting up with that crap for years, with groups like Antifa, with groups like comes out of these colleges. We've been putting up with it for an awful long time. You know, and every time they say, well, you know, you may not like that, but, you know, they have the right to do it and say it. But you don't think that. You don't think we have the right to think. You don't think we have the right to say it. The First Amendment gives us that right, and you do not believe in it. There's many politicians that would like to shut us up. But we're not going to, and we're not going away. Everybody, and I'm telling you, Jerry, you're right, or Jerry, you're right. Everyone needs to contact their congressman. Everybody needs to contact their representatives, no matter where they are, what level. Tell them, if you're not in for the fight, if you're not upset with what's going on with this bill, then something's freaking wrong here, and we're not supporting them anymore. Don't send them a damn dime. Don't send their party a damn dime. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, we do have to get through this Georgia election. And right now they claim everybody's looking at them. Everybody's looking at them. The same damn people, the same damn machines are still there. And it may take, after what's going on tomorrow in January, tomorrow, they may have to rerun those elections, and they may be the military that runs it. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm excited about it, OG.
Yeah. And No Name out there is saying, when is it time to sharpen our pitchforks and light the torches?
It is time.
It is time. Now. That's what we've been saying all night. Now is the time. Righteous men rise up. Get out there. Be civilly disobedient. Push back. Don't let them get by with this crap.
That's true. That's true. And OG, I look at that screen over there, and I've got to figure out why that screen is like it is. It's got the time, the live time. Oh, that appears. I'm going to need to move Geezer over. His picture's being obscured by it. Yeah. That's Geezer in lockdown there, yelling no lockdown. And of course, we got the Geezer cam set up, and he's not here. But he's got a bum knee, and he's got a toothache. So he's out shopping for a dentist. One that'll do it for $20. Got an abscess. I told him I got a Dremel tool over here and some stuff. I do some part-time dental work. But with that, everybody, we want you to ride safe. We want you to be safe. If you don't have a motorcycle, buy one, no matter how old you are. I started riding when I was 8.
Have a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll be back on before the new year. And hopefully with good news as we head to the People's House tomorrow, where Vice President Pence will receive the electoral votes, whether they're certified or lawfully certified. There's a difference. There's a difference. With that, everybody, good night. Be safe. I got to have the mouse back. We're ending the stream. Bye-bye.